if that was even an option that is available, why is it that the same government that has been ruling since 1994, that is the same government that was not able to go and do anything to white people who woke up one day in 2016 and conducted a national shutdown in all major national roads of South Africa and called it Black Monday? There was not one police that was ever deployed to any of the spots. The N3 between Durban and Johannesburg, Durban and Bloemfontein, Durban, KZN and Free State, between Free State and Mpumalanga, between Mpumalanga and Gauteng, was brought to a to a total stop. N1 between Joburg and Polokwane, between N4 between Pretoria and Mbombela and Mpumalanga, N1 between N1 and N4 between Rustenburg and Pretoria was brought to a dead stop. There was no movement. N2 in Western Cape from Cape Town to the Garden Route, N2 in KZN, the same. Where were these people that are about security concern of the country? What have we done by speaking on things that General Mncunu has spoken about? What have we done on speaking on things that General Mapanga has spoken about? What have we done on speaking on things that former Chief Justice Mkhweng has spoken about? What have we done by speaking on things that Collins Litswalo, Road Accident Fund CEO, has spoken about? What have we done by speaking on things that Lucky Montana, as the former CEO of PRASA, has spoken about? Have we reached now the time of Swat Khefar in South Africa under the dispensation of Ramaphosa that is currently running South Africa? I am not. And I want you guys to know, if I disappear, I would have been kidnapped by Amapolisa, by Amachoni, by state security agencies, agency officials. I would have been kidnapped by people that are sent by our government, because I've already picked up that I have been targeted. I've received more than 3 calls that are coming from people that tell me I am being watched under the pretext of the fact that I am instigating. Where have I instigated? Where have I instigated? And if that is the case, if I have instigated, what have I instigated by doing if mine is echoing things that have been said by General Mkhwanazi? Why are they not arresting Mkhwanazi? Because via Moyika, General Mkhwanazi. Why are citizens being silenced? Why are citizens being silenced? Not every South African is going to have the opportunity of being a high-ranking general in the police service of South Africa in order for him or her to be respected enough for her voice or his voice to be allowed to be spoken, to be allowed to be heard. Not every South African is going to be a high-ranking police general and have authority and have power and have a way of protecting themselves to not be touched by his colleagues. Not all of us are going to wake up and become General Mkhwanazi. Why is the voice of the citizens being silenced? And why is government sending and instilling a fear-mongering threats that are synonymous with the erstwhile apartheid government and the Swat Khefar regime? If it was wrong then, that government would silence the citizens. What makes this government of the ANC to be correct that it must silence us as the people of South Africa? What wrong have I said by speaking on things that many South Africans have got no open platform, big platform that they can express their views on? What's wrong with my voice being used as a voice that carries the voices of other South Africans? What wrong have I done by carrying the voices of my fellow countrymen and women? What wrong have I done by carrying the voices of people that there is no leader who wants to listen to them? What wrong is that? What wrong did I commit by doing that? Which law did I contravene? Which law did I break? I want you guys to know, I will not surrender. I will not retreat, and I will not be silenced. The only silence that the government of Ramaphosa will get from me is through killing me, as they intend to do. And now I can say it. They intend to assassinate me. Why am I receiving calls that are threatening me? Why am I receiving calls that are threatening me? Yes, I don't have the state resources that they have. I don't have the protection that they enjoy. I do not have the power that they have. And if it means I will leave my children as young as they are because someone needed to speak for our country, so be it. So be it. But to think you will silence me by fear, that one is not going to happen. I watched, I read, I saw the torment, the torture, the suffering, the pain, the hurt that was instilled on AneleMda Matikise. I watched, I read, I saw, I heard of the pain, the suffering that they instilled on Steve Bantu Biko. I watched, I heard, I read, I saw the pain, the torture, the suffering, and the hurt that they did on Solomon Mahlangu. Why would I think I'm special? Why would I think I'm special? But whoever thought, but that the same tactic would be used by our own government on us, because our government no longer want to hear our voices. Our government no longer want to hear our voices. Our government does not want to only to kill us as South Africans by rendering our country into a total, slump. Our government is even prepared to eliminate those of us that still have the courage to speak. And I am saying, the only road for me to reach my grave, if it's not natural death, it will be because the government of Ramaphosa have sent people to kidnap and kill me. And that is the intention that already is underway. Tomorrow, I'm definitely going to do a video addressing President Ramaphosa on what his people are doing to me. We know what Patricia, the whistleblower, Patricia Mashao, we know what she's going through. We know how many other whistleblowers have been killed in this country. We know how many other people have disappeared in this country. We know how our government, if they can silence you by buying you, and they failed to do that to me. They've not succeeded to buying me and buying my truth by silencing me, by giving me money and things and whatnot. I've refused all kinds of offers all the kinds of carrots that they've dangled in front of me in order for me to be silent. They have now gotten clear that they want me dead and they are going to eliminate me. And I want South Africans to know, when I disappear, when you no longer see me, when you no longer hear from me, when my children do not have access to my social media pages because my phones would have been taken, you must know that the government of the day is after me. So this is the morning after the address of the president last night. Obviously, it was also a week since the revelations that were made by Lieutenant General AneleMda Mncunu, who is the Provincial Commissioner of Police in KZN, who made very startling revelations relating to the state of our security in the country, as well as the state of police, both in KZN but also in the country at large, and also went as far as giving us an insight of various acts of capture that have unraveled to both police, certain aspects of the judiciary in South Africa, as well as other aspects of the security cluster of our country. And these are obviously revelations that were not coming from someone who was sucking what he was saying, or it was not revelations that were coming from someone who you could say it was an act of immaturity informed by very lame and you know, not very much nuanced kind of an approach of what he wanted to do. It was very clear that General Mncunu had decided to take the decision, had decided to take the step to bring the nation to his confidence, because I think all of us, we have concluded that it was out of desperation of wanting to save the country, and we remain very resolute that we believe that all the things that General Mncunu said, they were informed by facts, as he said. But here is what I want to deal with. I want to deal with the announcement of the president last night, which obviously spoke of the new commission of inquiry that is going to be chaired by a retired judge that is going to be going to retirement, Judge Madlanga, and also what the address of the president confined itself in. But before I do that, I want to remind you, South Africans, that General Mncunu spoke fundamentally on 4 key areas that are very important, which I thought would have been the crux of the president's address last night. 1, General Mncunu speaks about the fact that there was a presidential decision, which was an executive authority, to institute or to place a political killings task team in KZN, which the current president, placed. That was the first thing. 2, it was the nefarious, dubious ways under which that political task team was disbanded and authorities that were involved in its disbandment. That's the second aspect. 3, it was a revelation of the heightened level of involvement of the South African Minister of Police in cartels and syndicates that are operating within the security cluster, which obviously in essence are the ones that have captured police in its entirety, especially from the top management. I mean, we cannot have General Mncunu speaking about people that are at the level of the National Deputy Commissioner, and we are not to believe that he was coming to inform us about the capture of the top management of police. That was the third thing. The fourth and a fundamentally important aspect for me that General Mkwanu's revelation also laid bare was the fact that there is a criminal syndicate that runs South African Police Service from wherever. So those 4 aspects for me were the key important fundamental areas that I was not anticipating that the president can make a 15-minute address and leave everything else outside. Now, the president announces that there's going to be a judicial commission of inquiry, and there is also going to be an acting minister that is appointed, who is Professor Kachalia. There's also the decision for the president to place Minister Senzo Mncunu on special leave. Remember, South African Police has got 2 deputy ministers, Castle Matale, and I've forgotten that lady. She was once at the board of PRASA when I was still at PRASA. Forgotten her name. And now the Minister of Police is placed on special leave. He's not removed. The ministerial perks and benefits that he enjoys are under our taxes. He's going to enjoy them. And then there's going to be an introduction of the new acting minister in the form of Professor Kachalia. And I do want to speak to both these decisions of the president. One, we as South Africans, we really do not have confidence in these things that are called commissions of inquiry. We have seen the Nugent Commission of Inquiry. What were the actions that subsequently were taken tangibly after the completion of that commission? you can thumbsuck, but you won't come up with anything tangible that our taxes were spent for there. You can go to the Falam Commission. You will not come up with any tangible decisions that ultimately people were brought to book as a result of that commission. You can go to the PIC Commission of 2018. You won't come to any tangible actions that were taken as a result of the recommendations of that report. You will go to the Zondo Commission, which is the recent commission of inquiry that ran for a whole entire period of time and spent the highest budget that has ever been spent in this country, spent on a commission of inquiry, 1 billion. And to this day, all politicians, or most politicians that were mentioned one way or the other to be on the wrong side of the law in Zondo Commission, all of them, they are bumping the streets. They've either been elevated into becoming ambassadors of South Africa in various countries, or they have been taken into senior positions in the cabinet. Some have been taken into various Chapter 9 institutions. Some are being touted to go into SITAs and all that and all that. The worst thing, which is my beef with the Zondo Commission, is that even Chief Justice Zondo himself, after he left office, he said that the commission was an ill-spent money which have not done the country anything. He was at the helm of it at the time when he was in charge. Why couldn't he use his authority to say, this is the scope of this commission? This is what this commission is intended to achieve for the country. And I am not going to allow this commission with my name on it to be just used again as a cleaning mechanism for politicians to say they were cleared. No, he did not do that. But again, on the address of the president yesterday, here is what is missing for me. Why did the president not speak about the fact about facts relating to how he set up the presidential political killing tax team in KZN and how subsequently it got disbanded? Why did he not take the country into his confidence about that? That's the first thing. Secondly, why did the president not speak about the fact that he has got no intentions? Or why did the president not confirm, and unequivocally so, his confidence to Commissioner Mncunu? Why did he not even acknowledge the act of bravery, patriotism, and a sense of endearment that General Mncunu showed by his actions, by coming out in the open to speak to the country about these issues, because he wants the country to be fixed? Why did the president not speak about the fact that he's got full confidence in National Commissioner Fani Masemula? Or what is the president intending to do that he did not speak about? Because I feel as though the president yesterday, the only thing that he came out and did, he balanced his political factions in the ANC. And why are we also again having Professor Kachalia, who is again an ANC retiree, an ANC old cater, who's coming back again through the back door as a retiree who's coming to enjoy our taxes? What is exactly...
Hello Mzansi, welcome to Mncunu&Ramaphosa. If today is your first time visiting this channel, please do the right thing and click the subscribe button, and also don't forget to smash the like button. It seems like abantu labaya kuma social media platforms abayodefenda umkhwanazi bakhulume kabi ngabo Senzo Mncunu nabo Ramaphosa bayafunwa. And there's this girl leli gama lakhe kungu-Anele, bampita nga-AneleMda laphana kuma-social media platforms nalaphana ku-TikTok ungu-AneleMda. AneleMda uyi-global speaker, gender and social activist, aphindze lapha i-coach, businesswoman, and bekalo kakhulu manje akhuluma ngendzaba Mkhwanazi kokuthi uba expose boSenzo Mncunu, akhulume naye abeka imibono yakhe siding with uMkhwanazi, amdefender naye Mkhwanazi, akhuluma naye khipha tigaqa tokuthi vele ba wrong, kufanele baboshwe, kufanele khishwe uCyril Ramaphosa as a president. Ukhuluma nje into etiningi, wenta nema live, bantu ba participate kuleyo ma live lawo. And she's now saying ukuthi receive ama threats, bayamfonela bayamtshela ukuthi they are always watching her, akayekelelo la kwendako. And she's saying ukuthi she's not gonna stop kesana. So utshela abantu ukuthi it's very embarrassing for ma-officials ukuthi azahambe afonelana nebantu lababona ngazuthi babadreka lapha kuma-social media platforms. So uyasho ukuthi if ever anything happens to her kufuna bantu badi kokuthi government yalana eSouth Africa ibole kangakanani and bangawukhipha ngisho nemphefumulo if sebabona ukuthi sebasenkingeni. So uyasho ukuthi yena she will always side with umkhwanazi, angeke asasabe ngenxa ukuthi receive ama-threats from officials. So please do comment what you think below down in the comment section. I'm signing out. So goodbye.